Success starts when the excuses stop sounding reasonable. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Interlinked podcast. I'm your host, Ray. If you're new here, you have a lot to catch up on because we're already on episode 18. Shit's fucking insane. But if you're not new here and you've been tapped in, thank you for joining again. Today is a good episode because, as you can tell by the quote, we're talking all about how to set yourself up for success. So today I'm going to give y'all probably like 15 plus examples of ways to set yourself up for success. And depending on your lifestyle, depending on what you have going on, what your job is, what you're struggling with, etc., some of this is going to apply to you, maybe some of it doesn't, but the hope is that it resonates with you in one way or the other. And if you need any assistance with anything that I haven't mentioned, let me know. I'm always willing to help. But this was just from my humble opinion and my perspective. Once again, we are all interlinked. So when I make these episodes, I have my own struggles in mind. And my hope is that you guys are also struggling with these things and we can learn and grow together. Even for this episode, I went to go record. I was all ready and, I already had put it off in general. And I go to record and my mic is dead. So that was great. Didn't set myself up for success very well there, but, had to just kind of edit some other stuff in the meantime. It's fine. But anyways, let's get into the episode. So once again, I'm going to be kind of just listing things off and then going into it if I need to. Number one, I don't know what your schedule looks like. I don't know what your job is, but if you know that you have to wake up early in the morning, pick out your work outfit the night before. I personally love doing this. It makes me feel so much more motivated, so much more on top of things. When I wake up, I don't feel as stressed because I just already know what I'm going to wear. And that was the one thing about like working at Wendy's when I was younger, like hated the fuck out of that polo. But one thing about that job is I wore that polo and there was no doubt about it. There was no question. There was no, what am I wearing today? There was no thought. Just throw on the polo and go to work. And I don't know what your job is, but if it is not uniform based and you get to choose your outfit, go ahead and pick that out the night before. Set yourself up for success. Kind of on this note, if you are working a job, okay, and you want to tell me, oh, I don't have time to go to the gym, like there's just no time, or oh, I forgot my clothes, I forgot my shoes, da da da. You are constantly going to make excuses for why you're not going to the gym. And I tell you this once again because I do it too. Yeah. Yeah, it's real simple to be like, well, I can't go because I don't have my shorts. And it's like, well, why do you not have your shorts? Like, that's such a simple thing to just throw in your bag. And it would have not been forgotten had you just maybe picked out your outfit the night before and also threw the shorts next to the outfit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a simple thing that you're using as an excuse. And it's not going to work. We got to stop using that excuse and be more proactive. The thing with the gym, too, you really can't think about it. Like, if you even think about it for a second, the odds of you making an excuse as to why you don't want to go is heightened. You could tell yourself, I'm tired, I'm not motivated, I'm sore, I don't have my shorts. All of those things are just excuses, and you're talking yourself out of it. The grind can be silent, but your results will be loud. In other words, you can't fake those results. If you keep telling yourself, oh, I forgot my shorts, oh, I'm not in the mood today, oh, I'm sore, well, the results are not going to be there. Like if you know that you're most productive in the morning, you need to schedule your hardest task for that time. So if that's the gym, schedule the gym for the morning. Don't tell yourself, oh, I'm going to go to the gym after work when you know damn well you're going to be too tired and then that's going to be your excuse along with not bringing the clothes or whatever it is. If you set out and you go to the gym first thing in the morning, you're already wearing the shorts, you're already wearing the shoes, and you can't tell yourself you forgot them because you're going straight there. So set yourself up for success when it comes to work and working out. Those are two major things that I feel like a lot of people struggle with, myself included. Kind of also on that note, set yourself up for success by going to bed early if you have to be up early. So this looks like not doom scrolling, okay? Not sitting on TikTok for hours thinking that you're relaxing and, oh, I can't wait after work and after all dinner and whatever. I can't wait to just lay in bed and go on TikTok. Of course, we all love to do that, but we don't need to be doing that until midnight. We don't need to be doing that until 2 a.m. Like, whatever time you're doing that till, you got to quit that. Like, set a timer if you need to. I'm telling you, the best way, honestly, to fall asleep if you're like, bro, I just can't sleep. Like, there's nothing else for me to do but sit on TikTok because I try to go to sleep and then I can't. Read a book. I'm telling you, it's kind of like a blessing and a curse because I'm like, oh, I'm going to read tonight. Like, I'm feeling good. I'm not scrolling. I'm going to read. And then when I try to read, I like fall asleep instantly. I'll read like 10 pages. My eyes are like closing instantly. And I'm like, oh, so I was tired, you know? So you have to let your body kind of lead the way with that. And reading is just a way better thing to do before bed in general and when you wake up. Those are the two times I would recommend reading because your brain, REM sleep and all of that, like your brain is more absorbent of the information that you're getting. And kind of along the manifestation train that I'm always on, I always like to do all of that before bed and right when I wake up because of those reasons. And so prioritizing those moments right before bed and right when you wake up, doing something other than going on your phone, highly recommend that. And that in itself is setting yourself up for success because I don't know about you, but going throughout your day with like TikTok songs stuck in your head, that just makes me feel so overstimulated and so annoyed, especially teaching too. Like the kids would be saying the sounds and then I'm also hearing them in my head and it's like this is not good. I should have read this morning. I should have read last night cuz almost go to bed with that shit implanted in your mind. Setting yourself up for success looks like having routines. I've talked a lot about having routines and having balance before, but this is a non negotiable. I'm someone that thrives on routines to the point where when I was literally 10 years old, me and my best friend Claire, we would make lists for our day. We would write at the top of a piece of paper, Saturday, 8, 6. And we would literally have wake up, eat breakfast, play basketball, make lunch, go to the mall, go get a Polar Pop, like all the things we wanted to do in a day, they were on a list. And we honestly did that shit. Like we stuck to what we wanted to do. And since then, I've just operated highly on checking things off of a list. I don't know about y'all, but like it could be the simplest task. As long as it's written down and I did it, I feel so much better. Unload the dishwasher. Check. I don't have a dishwasher, but like if you do, check. Make your bed. Check. How long does that take to make your bed? Check it off. And again, on the gym thing and on the picking out your outfit, you could put that on the list. Like, have routines for yourself because also when somebody else comes into your life, whether that's a friend or a relationship, whatever, you want to have a structure and you want to have your time organized so that it's not as malleable for someone to just come in and just fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know that you wake up in the morning and you go to the gym and then you go to work and then you do this activity for yourself, and somebody comes in your life and is disrupting that, you know your routine and you know what works for you. So you're going to be more firm on staying true to yourself and staying true to what you value over just pleasing another person. So having routines extends way deeper than just, oh, you need to be more productive. Like, it's really just a bond and a structure that you're giving yourself to prove to yourself that you matter. Kind of on this note, set goals for yourself. Set goals and also plan to reflect on them. So, reflecting on them means you're going to need to adjust them. Plan on this adjustment too. Like, if you want to say, oh, every week on Sunday, or that you could do bi-weekly or you could do monthly, whatever you find works for you. When you set goals, you want to check on them. You don't just set a goal and then just that's all it is, a goal. Because at that point, there's no structure to it. And again, that's that relationship that you need to have with yourself. That's that respect that you need to have with yourself that, okay, I have this goal for myself. How am I doing on this? Am I progressing? What is not working? How can I tweak this? Is my time being accounted for fully? Is there a gap here where I can put something else in there? Is something taking up too much time? Do I need to take some stuff off my plate? Like, you need to reflect on it and see how you're doing so that you can actually achieve the goal and not just have a pile of goals with no check marks. Setting yourself up for success might look like looking inward. This is a huge one. If you're not taking care of your mind, everything else will suffer. Everything. Okay? Like, this could be the way that you speak to yourself, the self talk. I've talked about this before. Your negative self talk saying, oh, I'm not good at that. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, just saying all the things that you can't do and focusing on that and limiting yourself. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that because if you're trying to set yourself up for success with a lack mindset, that's all you're going to bring into your life. Your life is a mirror, and the people in your life are a mirror, and your experiences are a mirror, and your environment is a mirror. So if you think you don't deserve something, you know what's going to come into your life? Someone that doesn't deserve you. You know what I'm saying? And so if you do find yourself speaking negatively either to yourself or about yourself to others, you need to check in with yourself. You need to look inward. You need to look at, why do I view myself this way? Why do I feel like I don't deserve X, Y, and Z? Why are things unfolding this way? Is it something I'm doing? Are my actions causing negative reactions? This might look like going to therapy. This might look like meditating. This might look like just journaling, your basic shit, but it's not as basic as it seems because I just want to say most people don't do this. It takes a lot to sit there with your thoughts and actually care about them. As crazy as that sounds. Like, we like to vent to other people and talk about our problems, but when it comes to coming up with solutions, a lot of the times you hold the key. The key is actually in your pocket and you're not even reaching in there. You're reaching in everybody else's pocket for the key, but the only one that fits is yours. Okay? You are the missing piece. And you're the one that's going to have to dig deep to figure out what it is in your life that's bringing this negative energy, or what it is in your life that's making you feel like you don't deserve something, or that's making you not able to reach this potential that you're trying to go after. And yes, all of these devices like therapy or journaling or meditating, they can get you there. So the power is within you, but use the tools around you to help you figure it out. Along with cleaning up your mind, clean up your space, okay? I'm so guilty of this. I feel like when I go to put on a fit, I try on a million things. And when I get off work, bartending, I'm like, my clothes are gross. I just set them on the floor. I get right in the shower. Then the pile on the floor by the bathroom that was just 2 things turns into 10 things. And it's like, the laundry basket is literally right next to that hallway. Like, it's so close, I could do it without moving my feet. All I would have to do is open the door. And it's shit like that where you are in these habitual routines of just, oh, throw this off, get in the shower. And it's like, instead of throwing it on the floor, let's throw it in the basket. And instead of setting your dishes in the sink, set them in the dishwasher. A lot of these things are such simple fixes, but you get into the wrong habit. Get into the right habit. And that's all habits are. They're habits. You can choose them. You can choose to have a habit of waking up late and snoozing your alarm, or you could choose to have a habit of waking up early and not snoozing your alarm. Obviously, one of these things is easier than the other, and there always is an easier way. But here's the thing, it's just when you choose the hard task, because either way, you're going to have to put those dishes in the dishwasher, and either way, you're going to have to put the clothes in the basket. But instead, you're doing two actions instead of one. You're putting it in the sink and then putting it in the dishwasher. You're putting it on the floor and then putting it in the basket. Or you could just put it straight in the dishwasher or straight in the basket. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're actually doing more work when you do less work. Especially if you are in school still or you do work at home, whatever, if you need to be productive or you just want to have some peace of mind and your place is a mess, that to me has such a negative impact on my mental, on my productivity. I just feel lazy. I feel unmotivated. I feel kind of like disappointed and like sluggish. And I'm like, oh, well, the apartment's already a mess. So let's just add more to it. And you almost just worsen the problem. And then you got to have a whole Sunday reset to recover from all of the laziness that you could have just avoided had you taken that one action instead of now two or three or five or six, you know? So, just like your apartment, we also have cars that we drive. And again, I feel as though when my car is a mess, I'm just kind of like, I don't want to be in this car. Like, I have so much going on in the back. Y'all know I just quit my job. So, I had all my teaching shit in the back. Like, I'm talking crates. I had books and folders and like a whole tray unit. It was a disaster. And that's been in my back seat for so long, and I finally just cleaned my car, and like the fact that I can actually put my grocery bags in the trunk, a trunk's intended purpose to use it. Yeah, loving that. Like, we do the same thing with our garage. We pile it up with junk. It's not a storage unit. It's supposed to be where you put your car, but instead we fill it with junk. Yeah, I did that with my trunk. Don't want to do that. I'd rather be able to use my trunk and keep the junk somewhere else than literally have to put my groceries on the seats and it's just a mess. So I'm very happy to announce I cleaned my car and thriving, thriving so much with that. So it's the little wins. Along with that, I think one of the best things that I ever did was I got this tissue holder on Amazon for my car. And I'm not big on having all of these gadgets and shit like unnecessary, but this one, game changer. I don't know about you, but I feel like after I get off work, wherever I'm at, I always need to blow my nose. And I always feel the need to do it in my car. And I feel like I'm always struggling. Like, I have nothing to use. And I'm like, okay, like finding a spare napkin that's like low key got something on it. I'm like, this is just foul. Like, how hard is it to have tissues? So getting that was a game changer for me because whether it's a spill or like I said, I need to blow my nose, like I always have it and it's in arm's reach. It's not like, let me dig for Chipotle napkins and, they're actually crushed in the bottom with something else. It's just a mess. So if you need to, you don't even need a holder. Just keep tissues and napkins in your car. Like that in itself is setting yourself up for success to me. There's a spill, there's an accident, whatever it is. It's not, oh my God, I'm at the red light trying to reach back, or like I have to go to my trunk. Keep it right on deck. Keep it in your glove box, whatever you need to do, keep it close by. On the car note, stay up to date on your oil changes. Like, what? I mean, I get it. Like, as a woman, we don't particularly like going to get any type of car service done. I feel you on that. But I personally always go to Valvoline. There's always a discount online. Like, I don't know why it's so hard to find. I feel like I have to search up Valvoline 50%, Valvoline coupon. Like, I have to do this whole wraparound to get to it, but I always end up finding it and it's always 50% off. So, yeah, I love Valvoline. It's quick. You literally drive through. All they ask you to do is give them the keys, pop your hood, and you're good to go. Obviously, you'll have the occasional comments, but that's fine. That's fine. You don't need to sit there and wait like 50 minutes, like whatever places where you have to sit in the waiting room. And it's stale in there. And yeah, like you don't have to do all that. Just go to Valvoline, but do it early, not when you're like, oh shit, I'm like thousands of miles over that little sticker that's in the corner. Like, let's be proactive there. Also, not waiting until the tank is empty to get gas, especially when you have somewhere to be in the morning. I do this all the time. I don't know why I do it, but it's always like rushing home. Your gas light comes on. It's like, oh, I can make it home. And then you tell yourself, oh, I'm going to stop later. Like, I just want to go home because I really want to eat. I'm starving. Newsflash, you're not going to go back out tonight. Like, you know yourself, you got home, you're going to be in bed for the rest of the evening. So now you just played yourself because tomorrow morning you're snoozing that alarm and then you're late to work already. And also you have no gas. And now you're stressed that you're late, there's traffic, and you're running the scenario of you on the side of the road with no gas. Yeah. So let's also avoid that because I do that pretty often. And yeah, fill up your tank. Fill it all the way up. I don't know. You don't need to just do $20. Like if you literally only have $20, nothing against that. But if you have the money, just fill it up all the way. It's way easier to just fill it up fully and do it less than just, oh, here's $15. Oh, here's another 15. Like just do the whole 30. Do the whole 30 and then you can wait longer and you don't have to put it off. Okay. Also, now that it's summer, this is my little set myself up for success moment. So I live in an apartment and I don't have central air. Boo. But what I do have is an AC unit in my window. So something I like to do personally is if I get home and my apartment obviously hot as fuck, I will turn on my AC unit, shut the door, put a towel under it, block the air in there. I'll go shower. And then by the time I'm done showering, I come in my room and it's literally like my little freezer, my little oasis. And that to me is setting myself up for success because we're about to sleep good, we're about to relax good. And yeah, who wouldn't want a nice, chilly room? So if you have an AC unit, consider doing that. Don't be mad like, oh my God, it's so hot in here. What the fuck? You already know it's going to be hot in here. So plan ahead, go turn it on, go do a task. Like if you're about to go cook dinner or you like do something else, go turn the unit on first and then do the task. Very niche. If you don't have an AC unit, whatever. Sorry I had to listen to that, but for me, that is everything. Okay, next. Setting yourself up for success might look like having a stocked fridge. So I've talked about this before, ways to grow the fuck up. Yeah, that episode. We're not frat boys, so we're not going to live like them, okay? Stock your fridge. Stock it with the things that you like. Like I talked about on that episode, you deserve to eat good. You deserve to eat healthy. You deserve to nourish your body. So buy the foods that you like and have a stocked fridge. That is success. Even further, if you want to prep your food, that is the key right there. I've talked about meal prep so many times, but for me, that is the ultimate success. Like, I don't know what I would do without it personally. And this doesn't have to look like, oh, I made oats and I made my lunch and I made a dinner, 5 meals for the week. Like, no, I'm not saying you have to go crazy like I do. Sometimes prepping food just looks like, okay, I made chicken, I shredded it up and put it in a bowl. And now I can make tacos, I can make a sandwich, I can make a wrap, I can put that on a salad, I can make a fucking flatbread. You name it, you could do so much with that shredded chicken. And if you say, "Oh, I can't cook," come on, we got to get out of that. Use a crock pot, use a thermometer, whatever you got to do. Chicken, I know, chicken is hard to make. I get it. It's hard to cook chicken perfectly. But even if it's a little bit overcooked, you'll be fine. If you shred it, you should be fine. Also, if you don't want to do chicken, do any other meat. Do ground turkey, do ground beef, whatever. Cook that shit up, cut it up, and put it in a bowl. And now you have ready to go food that when you get home from a long day and you don't want to cook, boom, it's right there for you. Also, another bonus is put a little whiteboard on your fridge, and when you run out of something, just throw it on there. You could also just put this in your notes app. So, like, I frequently run out of the main things like cottage cheese, yogurt, all of that. Those are staples for me. And so, when I run out, I like to take note of it because that's also the type of shit where I'm like, oh, I need cottage cheese. And sometimes no, you don't. And if you buy excess of like dairy shit, I am like, oh my God, I need to eat that. Like, it's going to go bad. And I've done that so many times where I'm like, oh, I don't have this. And I get it. And then it ends up rotting because I just didn't check out what I had beforehand. But with the whiteboard, it's like, oh, if it's not on the whiteboard, then I didn't run out of it. I might want something else, but at least I know that the staples that I always have, I didn't run out of them. Okay, setting yourself up for success may also look like paying a bill on time. So, this has also been an issue for me where I'm like, bro, I just got a $400 dental bill in the mail, and I'm like, I don't want to pay that. Well, the bill's not going away. And then the more you wait, the more it's going to affect you. I also did this with my student loan, which was small, turned big because of that. I also did this with like taxes, waiting till the end and then having to pay a huge amount. I've done this with parking tickets and then they ended up being larger parking tickets. So it always manifests into a bigger bill if you wait. Like, unfortunately, it doesn't go away. So, setting yourself up for success looks like, damn, that shit sucks, but I'm going to eat it because it's only going to get worse? Next, setting yourself up for success looks like listening to your body and making the appointments that you need. So, I also am I struggle with this because I'm very anti big pharma. I've had a lot of trauma when it comes to my experiences in hospitals and just not feeling validated or important at appointments. And so I've also burned a lot of money through this. And, for me, I've had stomach issues like my whole life. And I don't know. I just always feel like, what's the point? What's the point? But listen to your body. Like, when something is off. Don't ever think that just because a doctor or a nurse or whoever tells you something is nothing to be concerned about, that you should just brush it off. Like, your body, when it feels good and when it feels like, hey, something's a little weird right now. That. So stick to the signs and listen to them. Book the appointment. It's way better to be proactive than reactive. And, I've seen crazy stories of like, oh, I felt this way one day and then I found out I had a fucking tumor, or I found out I had this ulcer, or literally just crazy shit. And it's like, oh, that was just a stomach cramp. And this is the way I feel. Like, maybe there's something wrong with me, but then you just don't do anything about it. Or you hit Google and feel like you're dying or pregnant or whatever the fuck Google tells you that you are. And it's like, let's just book the appointment. I know it sucks paying the money, but sometimes there is actually something wrong, and it's way better to figure that out early on than before it's too late. Setting yourself up for success looks like communicating your boundaries and your issues and your needs and your doubts before you get upset when they're crossed. So, if those boundaries aren't in place, how can you be mad when they're crossed? If you never stated them, how can you be mad when they're broken? My dad literally is like, oh, I'm on 20 days of working in a row. I'm like, so what are your boundaries? Like, have you stated that this is an issue for you? Have you said you're not coming in? Have you, addressed the situation? What have you done? And it's like, oh, I said something. And it's like, well, did you say something beforehand or afterhand? And did you communicate that in a way where it's going to be pushed to the side? Or did you communicate that in a way where they're going to take you seriously? Those are big things. The tone in your voice, the energy, your body language, people really take that shit and they'll either step the fuck on your boundaries and not care, or they'll respect them. And a lot of the times it has to do with the way that you present them. If they feel as though those boundaries are malleable, they're going to move them. They're going to step on them. They're going to push you and they're going to hope that you budge. And when you don't budge, that actually says a lot more about you and it demands respect from other people. My dad is literally like 61 years old, and I'm telling him this as a 24-year-old. But sometimes you never, like, he has that loyalty where he's like, I've been with this company for 40 years, and it's like, bro, they don't care about you. They don't care about you. They're showing you through repeated action that they don't care. Your loyalty means nothing, because if it did, they wouldn't be sending you on these jobs and working you to the bone when they know you're grown as fuck and you've been with them for years. Like, it's not like you're earning your spot. They just know no matter what they throw you in, you're going to do it. So that is a lack of boundary. Communication is key for success for anything across the board. Okay, so setting yourself up for success. Let's get into career. If you know that you want to end up in some profession, okay, think of that goal and prep for that. A lot of jobs can be used as stepping stones, and just because you're not in your ideal field doesn't mean what you're doing right now isn't valuable. Think of the characteristics of someone who has your dream job and start honing in on those skills. Is that person flexible? Are they good at problem solving? Do they have good customer service skills? Are they creative? Like, what about them fits in your dream job in that role? And how can you become that person? What job can allow you to really focus on those skills and improve them so that when you do get to your dream job, you have the skills for it. You're ready, you're prepared, and you've been doing this. It's nothing new for you. With the note of a dream job, most times it's not about what you know, but who you know. Everybody knows this. We all know it, but then we still are like, I gotta grind, I gotta work my way to the top. It's like, no, actually, you don't. Your energy speaks for itself, and the connections that you build are so, so valuable. They're everything. I was literally working, I'm a barista now, and I was talking to this dude, and he's like talking about St. Ed's, and he was saying, oh, this kid is trying to go there, but like he's not really good at sports, and he's not thinking it's going to work out for him. And we were just kind of on the topic. If you don't know, St. Ed's is like a private boys' high school. It's a high school, but you have to pay tuition to go. And the dude was like, no, 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 you don't understand. A lot of going there is literally just to build connections. Like, you may be in an interview 20 years down the line, and your interviewer is like, oh, St. Ed's, like, my son went there. You're a brother to me. Like, they have some weird shit when it comes to schools like that, where it's like, oh, my brother, or, being in a fraternity, all of that. It's like, oh, you're my bro. Like, we're alpha, beta, zeta, whatever the fuck for life? And so just you having that on your resume stands out because they connect to you. They feel connected to you through some school that you didn't even know them. You didn't go there at the same time, nothing. But they feel connected to you because, oh, they know the values of the school, or they know what it was like to go there, or whatever, shared the same field. Cool. That's what got you the job. Crazy, but it happens, and it happens way more than we know. Education is power, no matter what you do, no matter what your degree is in, anything that you can become informed on. And this doesn't even have to be through college. I do recommend college always, but this could be through YouTube, this could be through TikTok. Any form of learning is valuable. So educate yourself always, and that is going to set you up for success beyond anything in this life. Like I said, I just started as a barista. This is something I've wanted to do for literally ever. I am obsessed with coffee. I've always loved the concept of being a barista, getting to know more about coffee, everything that's involved, being able to drink free coffee. I mean, like, who wouldn't want that? And I'm doing that as education. I've been literally telling everyone I'm in barista school because technically, when you do get a job, I feel like it is school. They train you, you learn new stuff, you're kind of working your way up. You don't get graded, but they see how you do. You feel yourself getting better at it, and it feels like school. It feels like I learned something, I'm putting it into action, I'm getting better at it. That's what school is in an ideal scenario, of course. But also, me working in this coffee shop, I'm honing in on customer service skills. I'm talking to various clientele. Me working downtown allows me to network with people that are pretty high up. They're working at firms and they're doing marketing here and they're at a conference. And, coffee is something that people can really bond over because it's like, this is the best part of my day. And I get to be the one to give you that exchange. You know what I'm saying? So for me, working in a coffee shop is also networking. It's also putting myself out there, getting familiar with other people that who knows down the line could be a pivotal role in something that I end up doing. This one guy came in, we were vibing. He was like, I love your jewelry. Like, you clearly have style. I can tell you're into art. Like, what's your story? And I was like, oh, actually, my sister, she's the real artist. And he was like, oh, no way. I work for this company. You should definitely tell her to come down. I could show her around. Like, literally, internship opportunity for my sister just from speaking to him. I've had so many great conversations along these lines where it's like I meet people and I'm just like, wow, that is so cool that you guys are all just existing around me and I would have never interacted with you had I not worked here. So, if anything, think of jobs as connections. Next, let's talk about hobbies. Set yourself up for success with your hobbies by being mindful of your time and using it wisely. Obviously, life gets away from us, but if you set aside time to be purposeful in your creativity, that's all that I'm asking you to do. And along those lines, you need to be okay with making bad art. This has always been a struggle for me, and I always use perfectionism as a crutch when in reality, it's just fear. It's just being afraid to do something and not liking it. There's those statistics where people make hundreds of songs. I just literally listened to an interview by Tyler the Creator, and he was talking about how, he'll make 80 songs for an album and then end up going with only 8 of them. But he does that because you have to be okay with experimenting and playing. I don't remember what he said. Create like a child, experiment like a scientist. I want to say that's what he said. Create like a child, experiment like a scientist. And that's because children, they don't give a fuck. They just go, go, go. They'll just create, create, create. They don't care about it being perfect. Whereas a scientist is going to look at that art, he's going to look at that song and be like, okay, which one of these worked? Which one of these has the elements that people want to hear? Or which one speaks to people in a way where the message I want to translate is coming through? Oftentimes you might even think to yourself like, oh, I could do that. You go somewhere, you go to an art show and you're like, what, they're selling that for $700? Like, I could make that. And it's like, you know what they did but you didn't? They started, they also had confidence in themselves to just say, yeah, people are going to buy this, and yeah, I'm going to price it at this amount because that's what I think I deserve. And 9 times out of 10, that art is getting bought. It's getting bought. And you might be sitting here claiming, oh, I can make that, I could do that. But you know what? You didn't, though. And I say this because I will think that. I'll be like, oh my God, that looks like I could really make that. And not in a way of like, that's so easy, like, that's shitty. Nothing like that. But more so in a way of like, oh, okay, so I don't have to jump through a million hoops, recreate the wheel. Like, sometimes simple is better. I'd like to think that you don't create the meaning in art. Everyone who views your art creates meaning in it. You might go in with the idea that somebody's going to perceive this and feel sadness and feel nostalgia, whatever, but instead they feel anger and rage. You can't tell somebody how they're going to react or how they're going to feel about your art. All you can do is put it out there and let people feel what they feel. And there's beauty in knowing that everybody feels a different thing. I think that's the most beautiful thing, honestly, ever. Like, how cool is it that I create this one thing and it extracts all these different meanings for hundreds of different people? That to me is just fucking amazing. So be okay with starting, be okay with creating bad art, and have the confidence to know you are good enough. This woman came in again to the barista job, and she was talking about hot sauce, and she was like, yeah, I actually have a hot sauce business. And I was like, wait, what? No way. How'd you get into that? And she told me she was a bartender, and she was working her shift, and she often made hot sauce for the restaurant, and they started actually putting it on the menu. They were selling it, and people were vibing. They loved it. And this dude came in. He was actually one of the major owners of like Giant Eagle, and he loved the hot sauce. And he was like, are you selling this? And she was like, kind of, a little bit on the side. And he was like, no, I want to sell this. I want this in our stores. Lo and behold, now she's in Giant Eagle amongst other retail stores. And it's like, yeah, because she just started. She just brought it to work. She had the confidence to know what I'm making is good. And she was real humble about it. Like, she honestly was like, people want it, so I make it, whatever. But to me, I'm like, you're so cool. And it actually got me in my head like, wow, everyone's just coming in here so successful and they just started, and that's what I haven't done. But a lot of the times, you don't give yourself enough credit for what you are doing. And you'll get there. So set yourself up for success by putting yourself in rooms where people are doing more than you. Because for me, that's been like my wake up call to create. I need to create because I'm trying to get like all of you, and not in a way of I want to have my own hot sauce. I want to do the same thing you're doing, but more so in a way of like, I want to have the confidence that you have to just go for it, because that's what all of these people have in common. They went for it. So set yourself up for success by going for it. My coworker, too, at the coffee shop, she literally said she made a piece of art. She sold it at the old coffee shop she was working at, and she thought it was horrible. Okay. The dude that bought it was so happy to have it. And she was like, what? I'm so confused, but I'm so happy you're happy, you know? And I posted my art and somebody wanted me to make them something. I recently just got asked to make like a flyer too. And I'm like, oh my God, what? You like my style? What is my style? That's so, it's like got me in my head. It's almost like imposter syndrome, but it's like, no, people see you, let them. There's this thing called the rule of 100. I actually have this on my vision board for 2025, and it refers to the concept that dedicating 100 hours in a year to a specific skill can significantly improve your proficiency, potentially placing you ahead of 95% of others in that field. This translates to roughly 18 minutes of practice per day. How many hours in a day are you on your phone? How many hours in a day are you sleeping? How many hours in a day are you just rotting around, watching TV? Readjust your life. You do have time. You are more in control of time than you think you are. Stop making excuses. There's another quote that I really like that reads, what a blessing is it to be tired in the pursuit of a challenge of your own choosing. Choose your hard. Live a great life now or save money. Be healthy and work out or have health issues later. Like, stick to your boundaries and think about what you're doing in this current moment, and if it's adding to your life or if it's taking away from your life. Especially when it comes to being disciplined, a lot of this is built in the gym. The gym is the thing that most people don't want to do, but they do it anyway. That's discipline. Doing the things that you don't like doing. You don't like putting those clothes right in the basket. You don't like putting the dishes right into the dishwasher. You don't like it, but doing that builds discipline, because after a while, it's just a habit. I've been working out for probably like 10 plus years at this point, not to mention, sports and whatever, but the gym probably, yeah, like 10 years. And I gotta say that, yeah, it's not always easy for me, but it's much easier to get back on track knowing that I know what the workouts are than if I didn't even know how to use the machine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be like, damn, I'm slacking in the gym, like, but the second I go back to the gym, it's it's ingrained. I know what I'm going to do. I don't really have to think about it much. I don't have to write it down. I just go in there and I do the things that I've always done. And of course, I'm learning new things sometimes or trying out a new exercise. But if I didn't even know how to lift something or how to do the proper form, that would be a whole different beast in itself. Like if I was sitting here at 45 years old, like, how do I use the Smith machine? How do I do a curl? Like, wait, that would make me not want to go to the gym because now not only am I not used to going to the gym, I feel embarrassed. I feel uncomfortable. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like people are looking at me like that entire downfall of emotions that you feel when you first start something, especially the gym. I don't feel that. I might feel, damn, it's hard to go, but once I'm there, I'm there. So, discipline is a huge thing. Think to yourself, is what you're doing today moving you closer to where you want to be tomorrow? Love that quote. Love that quote. Is rotting in bed going to bring you closer to success tomorrow? Remember, you should have set goals. So, are you getting closer to that goal? Are we doing that check in at the end of the week? What is today doing for that goal tomorrow? I don't ever shoot for success. I shoot for growth. I think that success is a side effect of growth. And the more that you grow, the more successful that you will be. This applies to every aspect of your life and your being. Shoot for growth because growth is priceless. You'll never regret putting work into you. You'll be with you till the end. You might as well make yourself a pleasant, happy, mindful, and aware person. So remember, success starts when the excuses stop sounding reasonable. Stop snoozing that alarm. Stop procrastinating. Stop fearing failure. Create more bad art. Create boundaries and create more time. That's summed up pretty shortly, but as you know, we covered a million things throughout, and I could probably think of more. More were spinning through my head as I was going through this list, but think about it. You have more control than you realize. I'm rooting for you. Again, if there's anything that you felt I didn't cover and you need covered, hit me up. I would love to help you out. And yeah, anything that you need, I got you. For your homework, I want you to evaluate, where are you at right now? What's lacking? What systems do you need to put in place that are not in place currently, but you think could make you more successful? Whether that pertains to all of those life things I mentioned, your career, your hobbies, whatever it may be, think about what's in place and what's lacking. Write it down on real paper, make it a reality, and adjust, reflect, think about it, grow, evolve, and again, I'll be here if you need me. Thanks so much for listening, guys, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.